Okay, so thank you very much for coming to another seminar. Just a reminder that this is the last seminar of this course. So there will not be more seminars in the summer, and we will recover them in September. So just be aware of the bulletin. Of the bulletin, because there you will see when they will start, but it will be maybe beginning mid-September. I think the first one.
I think the first one, the 6th of
The 6th
September.
of September should be so. And today we have Francisco Criado. He's from SOFI. He will talk to us about beach monitoring and evolution of the Balearic Sea. So thank you very much for coming, Francisco. Floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I am Francisco Criado, and I first of all wanted to say thank you to all the people involved in the organization of these seminars. And today I am going to present the seminar entitled Midterm Beach Monitoring and Shoreline Change Detection, a case study of SOMO in Menorca. And this is in the context of my PhD. That will be my first annual control seminar, which is supervised by Angel Fernandez Mora, which is sitting over there, and Marcos from SOCIP, from the Balearic Island Observing and Forecasting System, and by Marcos Gallo from the University of the Federal University of Rio de Janeiro. That's the outline. I'm going to go through the presentation. And first of all, I will, since I don't know most of you, since I'm not working here, I just come sometimes to make some noise in the sediment lab when we have to process some stuff. So I will talk a bit about my background. And so I started, I got my environmental science degree at the University of Almeria. After that, I moved to Cadiz, where I did this double degree with marine science. In the last year, I got a scholarship. I went to Brazil, to the Federal University of Florianópolis in South Brazil, where I finished my degree. And after that, I did some work with diving as well. And I moved to Brazil, where I got my master's degree in coastal engineering at the Federal University of Rio de Janeiro. And I started and my master's degree was also related with the morphodynamics and the hydrodynamics of a beach there. And the main scope of what we studied was about, we did 1 year, the first year was of fish campaigns, measuring in the beach the hydrodynamic and the morphodynamic conditions. And the main purpose was to study the cell circulation in my case, and particularly the recurrents, which are quite intense there. And after that, I started to work in the lab of dynamic and cohesive sediments there at the the Federal University of Rio de Janeiro, where I participated in some research projects and in several field campaigns, and most of them in the Amazon basin, which is a quite interesting place because of this interaction between the river flow and the tidal currents. And it's a quite remote place, so there's a huge lack of information and of data in this region. And then I started my PhD there, that is back in 2017. But in 2019, I moved back to Spain due to personal reasons and started to work at the beach monitoring facility, where I am now as a beach monitoring technician. And in 2022, I restart as a PhD student at the University of the Balearic Island. So that's a bit of a fast introduction. Okay, so let's get started with the presentation. Coastal ecosystems are our first line of defense against storms and sea levels, as everybody already knows. And there is a lack of information, and for those dynamic and changes that are happening in our coast, we need to have to manage properly those areas. We need data, and we need high frequency data and continuous data. And this kind of data that combine morphodynamic and hydrodynamic are quite rare in the literature. And we have the system that I will explain later, which is called MOBIS, the Modular Beach Integral Monitoring System, intend to cover this gap, to fill this gap, to have those kind of data to have this information, to have a proper knowledge about the beach responses. And in that scope, it's the main objectives of my PhD, which is the first one is to study the response of the beaches to the different storms and extreme events. And for considering two different beaches with two different degrees of conservation, one of them I will be presenting today. The second objective is to study the effect of the seasonal sea level that we have here in the Western Mediterranean, and how does that affect to the shoreline position and to the beach response. And the last one, more related with today's presentation, is to analyze the short-term and mid-term morphodynamics of those beaches. So how we do get those data? Here is where MOVINS appear, as I said again, which is this modular beach integral monitoring system, which started in Playa de Palma, Muro, and Sombo back in 2011. Playa de Palma stopped in 2017, and Muro started. I think I took Muro. And Calamillo, Sombo, and Palma started, and now Muro is working, and Palma is not working anymore since 2017. And as I said, the main purpose is to have this hydrodynamic and morphodynamic information so that we can understand better how our beaches respond. And we can divide this system into two parts, which are the continuous measurements and the field campaigns. The continuous measurements consist on the one side of this video monitoring system that we have there, which is called Sirena. And here we can see an example with all the images that it provides every hour of each day. And with those image products that are generated, we are able to extract of each generated plan view. And with those plan view, we can extract, for example, the shoreline position, and with that have information about how the beach responds and evolves along the years. The hydrodynamic information, we get that from the acoustic Doppler current profiler that is installed there, which is hourly providing wave and current information. And we have as well a weather station, so we have the main weather parameters. On the other side are the field campaigns, which are we do twice a year with the intention to cover the summer state and the winter state of the beach. And they consist of a complete bathymetry, which is done by our ETD team with a pneumatic small boat with a multi-beam echo sounding. And we do the topography as well to have information about the dry beach and the sur-zone, the narrower part of the beach. So that merging both measurements, we can get those, like in this example, a complete digital elevation model of the whole system. And sediment samples are extracted as well in those, in each of these profiles once per year. Here we can also know this red triangle is the position where the AWAC, the ADCP is installed. Yeah, pretty much that is. About the study area, today I will talk about Sombo, which is, as we are here in a microtidal environment in the Western Mediterranean Sea, exposed to southwest and south-southwest event due to its orientation. With lower energy, it's 2.4 kilometers long, but we will focus our analysis in this first kilometer, which is the area covered by here's the beach, the video monitoring system. So that's the area covered by the cameras. It's a semi-enclosed beach with these two headlands here, with well-sorted medium to fine sand. About the beach state, it's an intermediate skiver to dissipative beach. And we also have Posidonia oceanica there, a lot of places with beach rocks, so that make this, to understand the beach a bit more complex. It's a natural beach. We consider it as a natural beach since it has the preserved dune system behind the beach, and we have also the presence of this coastal lagoon in green here behind the dunes. So talking a bit about the waves and the sea level conditions. Here, first of all, we have the significant wave 5 time series. and to describing this horizontal shorelines, this horizontal dot lines, sorry, and this red one is referred to the percentile 99 of the significant wave height, and the black one, the percentile 95. And this vertical, I don't know if you can see it, this red vertical areas, shadowed areas are representing the extreme events, and the gray ones, the storms. I will talk later how we define those storms and extreme events. So now, following the same logic, we have from top to bottom significant wave height, peak period, peak direction, and the last one is the sea level. So what we see here are those thresholds about the significant wave height. Summer, when looking to summer and winter, we have obviously shorter waves during summer than during and longer waves and periods during winter. The summer direction is most with the component most from the south, and the winter with components from the west. And about, also interesting to see, and the last one, the sea level, is the seasonal sea level cycle that we have every year, with maximum values around October and November, and minimum values now around March and April. That's to show a bit the significant wave height interannual variation. So here we have the mean for each year, and we don't in the first look we don't see a clear trend along this decade or this 12 years. And the second figure is we can see the seasonality with significant wave height and peak period. So we have lower waves during the summer as expected, and higher and more energetic waves during the winter months. And here the direction, as I said before, south-southwest and southwest are the main principal waves are coming from there. So about the storminess, to first understand and analyze the storminess, we have to define what is a storm for our beach, which is quite or strongly dependent on the region. So here I just a table with several examples of different areas and studies that use different criteria to define a storm. And what we have to consider for those definitions is the duration of the storm, as we can see here in the figure. So from the start until the end of the storm. The minimum independence criterion, which is the time between one storm and the next one. And the significant wave height threshold from which we consider that storm started. So that are the conditions that we have for a storm and for extreme events. So at least 6 hours over the threshold of 95 of the significant wave height. The independence criterion is 72 hours, which were the same as the criteria that used by those authors here that did similar studies in our region. But we have an additional condition that this was proposed by Massering in 2014, which is that that's a bit hard to explain, but it's that the start and the end of the event, once we have a storm, so 6 hours over the threshold of 95%, we go back until the threshold was 75% from the start to the end, so that our storms are not, because if not, we saw that the storms were too many, we have too many storms and very short. So to avoid that and to have a more realistic analysis, we decided to extend the duration of those storms. I don't know if that was clear enough, hope so. And the extreme event, the same thing, but with considering this additional condition, at least 3 hours over the percentile 99 of the significant wave height. Okay, so after this definition of storms and extreme events, we can have here we can see in the first figure the number of storms in blue and of extreme events in orange during this period, the duration in hours, and the storm and the storm power index, which is an index used to see how powerful the storm was. and which considers the duration and the significant wave height. And as well, in the literature and several studies are highlighting that the storms are increasing in number and in intensity, but we are not seeing that, at least for that period of time in our beach. We don't have a clear trend of neither positive nor negative. And on the second figure, we have again this seasonality separated it by month, and we have again number of storms, duration, and storm power index, and we can see that we have very mild, very smooth summers without events, and they are concentrated in the winter months. So now talking a bit about the shoreline evolution, each point of this graphic is representing the mean shoreline position along the Sombo Beach, which are extracted every two weeks, more or less. And these reds, those that we have here, are representing what the mean shoreline position of the shorelines we measure on the field. So every time we go to the field, we do with a GPS RTK, we measure the shoreline, and that's the way we have to validate that the shorelines we are extracting through our video monitoring system are right. So the first thing we see, and I look into this graph, is the negative trend that we have of 30 centimeters each year during this period of time. And we also notice we have these rapid changes that we initially thought that were errors in our data, but they actually aren't. And we can see that in a few months, it's about the end of November, March, and May, we have this more than 20 meters of change of our beach, which is quite a lot for our environment, the microtidal environment with smooth conditions. And here a bit having a measure of everything together, what we had before, significant verified peak period and peak direction, and the shoreline variation along these years. And I also added here this bars. The blue ones are showing the difference between one shoreline and the next one. The blue ones are when the difference is positive and we have vacation, and when we have erosion. And we don't have, so firstly, we don't see clear correlation between the wave parameters and the shoreline response. It seems to be some biennial cycles or biennial signal here in the shoreline evolution along these years. And finalizing, we also have looking at the beach to see how it behaves in space and time. So we have here the shoreline, okay? And the mean values. So what we are representing here is the distance from each point of the beach to the mean value. So blue areas are points that are accredited or are wider than the mean value, and red one are negative one. So we see variations in both in time, in the same position, and in space as well. So the beach, we decided to separate the beach in these different areas, which apparently have different behaviors. So concluding about the wave climate and the sea level, we have this seasonal cycle, the seasonal sea level cycle, which is quite clear, the seasonality and no clear trend during those years. Similar thing with the storminess, no increase during the last 12 years, and a clear seasonality. And about the shoreline evolution, this negative trend, those rapid changes, we believe that are related with the sea level, but probably with something else. This biennial cycle that I also showed before, and those variabilities in space and time, that I hope to have some answers from my next seminar. And that's it. Many thanks for your attention.
Questions?
So I thought it's a lot of work for a single beach. I was wondering how much do you think things like this are scalable to have maybe to be able to monitor a larger number of beaches?
Well, we are already in Sotipa monitoring 3 beaches, but as you said, it's hard to. It's human costly. It's economic. It's expensive to maintain those systems, and the part out there. I mean, the video monitoring system and that part is, if you have the place, it's not that expensive. But when we have to do this field campaigns, which is one of the most important things, that's where they became not so scalable. So yeah, you need resources to have those systems, and yeah, and on the other side, what is being done is there are several initiatives, like the one with the coast map. I don't know if you hear about, which are like engaging with the citizen science people to put in a station and to get photos with a cell phone, so that we have not a complete station with waves and with all that stuff, but we at least have some information. But yeah. No.
How do you extract the shoreline point from the images? Do you do it manually? Do you extract the shoreline? Where do you say that the shoreline is on the image?
How we digitize those shoreline? Yeah, we have a semi-automatic software that we have it in Sofit, but we have to check it almost every day. We have to check every shoreline, and sometimes correct because of when the images are different. When you have Posidonia or stuff, you have to manually correct most of them. There is a project that some colleagues are working that to try to implement EI to extract fully automatic videos from. Yeah.
There is a question from Alex. If there's any nourishment
Not
of some of the
no, in that which now it shouldn't be, at least. It's a natural one, so there are no artificial nourishment.
Yeah, I get a question. Which you certainly have a vast amount of data. I'm not very sure about which of things you are trying to address, scientifically address on the long term. But I understand that you are sort of trying to see if the beach is receding or not. That which are the uncertainties associated to these trends that you are actually seeing in the beach? Which I understand that one of the main results that you are showing is that, or you are proposing, is that the beach is receding at 0.3 meters per year or something like that.
Yeah.
But actually what I see there in your figure is you have quite a lot of variabilities, which is associated to processes which are not very clear, because some of them, as you said, apparently are like to biannual trends. Which right now I couldn't think of processes acting at that sort of time scales. But there's also an uncertainty, as Amaya said, associated to probably with the shoreline identification and so on. So I don't know how that matches with those 0.3 centimeters. So you think that this is 0.3 centimeters receding plus or minus something, or whatever you are mentioning that?
Yeah, what we do to validate those shorelines, as I said, every time we go to the field, we get these measurements of with the RTK, what we really believe. I mean, there is the variation of centimeters, and we have this. That's the way that we validate our shoreline measurements. If that was the main question.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, of course, you measure every RTK, but that depends on the sea level and on the waves, and I don't know specifically how you determine where the shoreline is.
Yeah, it depends. We consider as well the sea level. I don't know if you the sea level of each measurement, and that's and we consider we extract shorelines only with good weather, without waves, because if we have waves, with the swash zone will be very big, and we do it's like the same thing we do when we go to the field. So we measure the shoreline, where the shoreline is in that specific date.
Any other questions?
I didn't quite understand how are you calculating the storminess? What's your reference period is the time series that you have, because it's relatively short.
Yeah,
in order to calculate the
that's right.
percentile. So I guess that if you move it can change quite a lot.
Yeah, sure.
Can you not take another reference point that is not based on your particular beach, but on, I don't know, on some indicators that have really long time series, so that you can actually have other reference points that not is just your series?
Yeah, we already compared. We did some work also with the hindcast, with a longer period from 40 years, the one from Tim to May. We also used to compare, but here I just wanted to show the measure, the waves that we have with our work there. But yeah, that's for storminess for sure. A decade or 12 years is a too short period.
Okay, so we can leave it here. Thank you very much, Francisco.
Thank you.